Right, we are live. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Um, I'm aware that there are so many time zones. Australia, they already, like what we allow Sunday, because when you look at the frightening amount of hours that is between UK, even America, and some other places, you start asking yourself, hey, but Ọlọ́run dálé ayé, anyway, but more go about government time, and allow go about la create Google anyway. Welcome to this special edition. It's a special edition in the sense that I was becoming like reluctant to do one or two live shows. I don't say there's so many things, there's so many matters arising, there's so many things going around. And when you start looking at them, I say, well, ṣé ká dá sí àbí ká má dá sí àbí ká jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa come and continue láti máa sọ ni. But then again, the only thing you and I can do is ká dá sí. Yorùbá ní ayò dá sí, ayò síbẹ̀ ni ayò dá sí. Because you're looking at trending issues or matters arising like sit down, sit up, sit down, sit up. Tabi, the issue of current city, I mean, Kiriko University to America,
Chicago State.
yeah, they agree to release, they disagree, they don't agree. To me, with me tonight, I have someone I can rely on his judgment. Is in the past is a he's a global analyst. He's been very good in terms of not necessarily prognose or forecast, but he's very good at breaking down matters arising, issues that affects you and I. So it's my pleasure welcoming Segun Daniel. Segun Daniel, you are welcome to Otumba Who Talk Show.
Thank you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever our viewers are. It's good to be here once again on Otumba Who latest program. Uh, I hope we will have more enjoyable time tonight discussing matters arising, particularly in from our nation, Nigeria, and pertinent issues regarding uh, life and living, as including the political, socio-economic matters. It's a place of our own. It's a place we all originated from. We cannot but to remember and dissect and provide solution, most importantly, to germane issues that will be of interest to all Nigerians, as well as propagate our ideas in bringing to fruition the Yoruba nation's aspiration.
Thank you, Segun. Without further ado, let me start by asking you what is your take on I think is it last week or still this week when one of our former head of state, popularly known as OBJ, I call him Uncle Segun sometimes if you want to answer me. When he was at a gathering, this is really, I'll give you all the time to break it down properly because as you know, many of us, we are not used to a structure that give proper clarifications on rule of law, how we are governed, and how we also should adhere what our limits, what and what do we understand under governance. When you look at civilized country like UK, an average electorate understands the nuance of governance. You cannot just call Aja as a boss for him or her. He knows what it is all about. He knows who to vote for, why he should vote for. And when they start talking about economy, he knows what is involved. When you talk about social, he knows. And when it comes to culture, I'm not too sure whether they have any. But then again, they know. So tell our viewers, what is your take on when former president Olusegun Obasanjo showed, I don't know whether he he remembered that he was a soldier and he wanted to he wanted to he connect to his soldierism and asked some obas, obas and obas and Ijoyes at a gathering that let's be frank with ourselves. So, ẹ jẹ́ ká bára sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀. Tọ́ba bá wà níjókòó tó lóye bá dé tí former president wà around ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jókòó. So I now gave the very popular, and I'm sure that will go down for the next couple of years to come. Ẹ dìde, ẹ jókòó. Even though some people multiply it, but all it was only one. Ẹ dìde, ẹ jókòó. Segun, what is going on? I want you to explain to our viewers. This show, please, if you can, if you are watching us, help us share, also subscribe, love, and get other that may not have access to this show now to watch the show, because I'm very, very proud of the our guest. Tell us, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Well, thank you. Quickly, I would need to make a correction, because on a program, I think early this week, I was interviewed on matters regarding the same topic you've asked now, and I saw that video prior to the interview, and I had a misgiving about it, because on the day of the event, Obasanjo had actually went to commission a road. I think the road linking is saying far away of somewhere to, I think they actually had gone to commission a road. I saw the video of that road commissioning, and there was no mentioning of that outburst there. The Obas too were seated at that commissioning ground, and there was no outburst about Edide Ejoko. So I was a bit taken aback that was this video, had it been doctored or something? And the podium at which he was talking, the background was different from the one that showed where he was addressing the Oba in that unwelcoming manner of Edide Ejoko. So I did mention, not just mention, I think I told the host of that program that I actually think that video was a fake. So I have to retract that now, because I have confirmed that he attended two commissioning events that day. So one for the road, another was at the Ladoke Akintola University Isenyi campus. It was at the Isenyi campus that he made us outburst speech. I mean, asking the Obas to stand up. And now coming to, after establishing the fact that that video is authentic and it's true. Yeah. Now let's address the matter involved in that. I believe, and I strongly know, there's no rule, no fast rule, no simple rule, no law that stipulate what Obasanjo have asked the governor, the Obas to do. There's nothing, none. But in the office of most executives, president, vice president, governor, deputy governor, there is always what we call, or even local government chairman, protocol. They have their protocol, particularly when it comes to attending events. the protocol around how you call in the roll call of dignitaries at an event and all that manners of things, how they will comport themselves. These are just protocols. You get it? Some usually love it to be strictly adhered to. Some, when there are infringement, it will just cause some disaffection, but that no one can be punished for it. The only punishment you seek is probably just you ignore that person you don't want to say and you keep animosity and all that. That cannot translate to any legal reprisal. So for Obasanjo to now, if the Obas had not been briefed, they have not been tutored on that ground of that protocol, that this is what when you are that event, this is how. I don't think they've done anything wrong. However, Obasanjo skewed a bit out of it too, because he, to me, I wanted to be guided that he's trying to tell them the protocol of attending event with chief executive. However, he brought in another matter into it because he's trying to lay the ground that this is on the ground of Yoruba respect, Yoruba's manners, attitude, nuance around respect for people. Because ní ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ oòjíire, that's how it's nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wípé ibi méjì la fi ń bọ̀wọ̀ la fi ń bọ̀wọ̀ fún èèyàn. Ìkan ọjọ́ orí, ìkan ipò. Wípé gómìnà ní ipò. He was a bit silent on gómìnà kò lọ́jọ́ orí. But he had enunciated that there are two that we valued most in Yoruba land, that you must give respect. Ẹni tó ní ipò àti ẹni tó ní ọjọ́ orí. Now, the instance he grabbed attention to was Ipo. Maybe to him, Ipo comes first and ọjọ́ orí comes second. That is, if you are in contact with somebody who is higher ranked than you are, then you have to subjugate yourself to that person, even if you are older. Because he did not tell us which one it takes precedence. So, because like I said, he did emphasize on gómìnà ní ipò. So for that reason, if a gómìnà is within your presence, you must give him obeisance, you must respect him, accord him some kind of dignity. So that, because my question will have been, if the governor is standing before an Oba that he knows is elderly chieftain, does it comes to the mind of the governor too that this man is older than me, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, I must accord him respect first. Then in reciprocacy, he can accord me respect because of my position. So in which case, there will not be any flout of any protocol or any unspoken by laws or regulations that ban that relationship. So for that reason, I think it shouldn't have been anything so untoward. The way he now went, belling out instructions to the Oba. And to my amazement, they all stood up, Edoko, and they all took their seat again. Now, that video has generated a whole lot of commentary. Many people have shown that Obasanjo was casting aspersions on the positions of the Obaship in Yoruba land. He's disparaging them. He's casting them in a very bad light. He has not portrayed them as people who have authority, given the instance or the example and the circumstance in which he shouted his instructions to them. Yeah. But I'm of the opinion that it takes two to tango. Yes. Obasanjo have done what he probably did not consider was wrong. But in the optics of event, we all know that was wrong. Yeah. But my concern is, as much as many that have made that comment, to want to support the position of the paramount rulers, these Obas. Unfortunately, these people themselves did not stood up or did not show the liver of tendency nor the courage to say that this is wrong. We won't be caught, we won't do this, and took their seat. Because at the time he shouted at them or he bellied out his instruction and said, if they did not stand up, what will he do? They probably think, let's accord him some respect, which he was looking for. You get it? To disparage and allow themselves to be disparaged. That is like 10, 12 of them there taking that soiling in order to clothe Obasanjo with respect. I will have thought that why not embarrass one man within his own action and save your own position? Yes, because to me, it might not worth it if people who felt that they should follow the instruction as was given to them, they did what he instructed them to. They probably did not consider it that he had done anything wrong. So why would anybody want to fight for them? Yes, because to me, they are culpable as Obasanjo. Yes. In this view, I do not subscribe to what General Obasanjo had done. I'd never been his fan, but I usually like to be very objective and fair to people. For many other of his past outbursts and actions is what made me not necessarily be a fan. But I can't be transporting all that into every other thing that he does. If you are taking any action or made any speech that is very productive, I recommend it.
Yeah, let me interject here. There have been also comments that Obasanjo would have done that to the emirs if you are to be in the gardens of the emirs in the north.
That's if you have to transport. Yeah. That let's say you had done that and they did not stand up.
Yes. Again, I pick up a couple of things in your submissions there.
Yes. Nothing would have happened.
Yeah, the Obas could have chosen not to stand up.
Yes.
And then when you look at the type of public we have, overzealous supporters of bad governance in the way they look at things. They could have, they could have started unnecessary. But let's me stay with the issue of could they have also done that to the Igwes?
Now we are foraying into the arena of speculation because those have not. Yeah, those have not happened. But we can X-ray it. We can X-ray it like let's just suppose and see. Using common sense, that would it have happened and they get away with it? I will say no. If you had gone to the north and have the traditional rulers in the north, emirs or even the sultan all gathered, and he's beckoning to them, they will stand up. I don't think any one of them will have taken him seriously.
Okay.
They will have dismissed this instruction, and nothing will happen. And that's what I'm saying. That it takes two to tango. You get it? For those who have made comment trying to say, Obasanjo, no one is, I inclusive. No one, I have not taken the situation the position that what Obasanjo, that is optics was correct. No. But to say that those who follow that instruction that we now want to be like, we want to clothe them to save them from that embarrassment are themselves culpable. That they cannot stand for themselves. I get here, so that's where my worries is. And when it affected at that time, they did not consider it. I get here, no, this can happen. They might just sit down there and laugh it off. Yes, and that will pass. But they wouldn't have done it. I
Okay.
get
All
it.
right.
But now they have done it. They are now like, everybody saying for you, no, 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 no. You can't eat your cake and have it.
Okay.
Everybody say, "Wa ń bojú àwọn ọba jẹ́, kinní kan." No, you can't eat. No, you should have shown that you are, I wouldn't say antagonistic to it, but you are not in support of somebody just coming, no matter what, and just shout instruction to obas like that. No.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's still on the same
Yeah.
matter. Still on the
Or
same.
we can forgive Obasanjo too, pé bóyá ó ti nítorí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti dàgbà ni.
He's not be dual on your pot. But that's fine. I can let him have.
Àbí? So
Now,
àwọn náà
let
mọ ìgbà tó yẹ káwọn sọ pé eléyìí tọ́ eléyìí ó tọ́ mọ́.
because the way Uncle Segun also did it was like, what you mean? Our people in no.
Ẹhẹ́n.
There are all kind of stories flying all over the place.
Of
That
course.
it was like a kind of a payback
Mm,
time, a kind of a time pay. It's our battle, all of it again. We don't want to use that on this part. We don't want to
mm,
discuss the other part before we depart from this particular topic, because we have a couple of things I want us to discuss.
okay.
Is again, uh, let's now touch a little bit about legal aspect of what happened, because traditionally all over the world there are place and legal. Anything we
Okay.
do, there's two. These two are the major platform and the major foundation and the major world we live in.
Mm,
Some people have now called for him, one, to apologize.
okay.
Otherwise, they will they will mount pressure all over Yoruba land to demote, to the, when I say demote, to the robe or whatever you want to call it, to get him
Okay. The chieftaincy titles.
this chieftaincy him.
Okay.
Say you understand.
What do you
Then
mean?
then also there are also been argument that some people are even really ready that they will take him to if he
For
doesn't
libel. For
if,
libel?
yeah, for life, for all that kind of thing, and if he doesn't voluntarily agree to
Apologize.
apologize, they will they will they will mount a synergy to get them to remove him not to be. Because I know he has numerous shiftancies all over the place.
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
1 minute. What effect is that going to have on the major cross of the matter?
Okay. I think if they make such move in, okay, let me address it this way. One, the quest for him to apologize, I think is a good one for him to have a reflection on what he has done. Possibly because he was at the occasion. Maybe if you reflect after watching the video, okay,
Mm.
he might have that remorse and said, maybe I shouldn't have treated these people this way, and issue an apology. That is one. Yeah. So the demand for it might be a good cause, but that depends on how he wants to do it in his response. If he doesn't, if he still maintain that, okay, whether I've seen it in the hindsight of a video now, that my action was a bit out of order, or I still maintain that it's just what I wanted to let them know. Eh, then that can now snowball into maybe not apologizing. The people want to fulfill their thread that, okay, we will match a program to this chieftaincy. In which case, they will talk with the Obas and see if that can be done. Though if an attempt in that direction comes up, then I think we will be ready for some legal battle. Yeah, that I can be sure of. We can be
Okay.
ready. Yeah, we can be ready for some legal battle if that attempt is made. Because I don't know. These are codified. You get it. So then I think that would be a legal battle in that direction.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I, to be honest, I actually think in no time this will fizzle out. There would not be any legal issues regarding it. And it will just die the natural course. There will be other events that will happen that will take more precedence, and people
Well,
will stop talking about it.
as
Yeah,
much
unless, like I said, if that action of trying to dischitancy him, it's actually looked into, and some people want to take step in that direction. That might be a legal firework. Yes. But if it is just let lie down and people comment, before we know it, other events will happen, and there'll be other comments on those one that will distract our attention.
okay, thank you. Let's move out of this particular area of matters arising, what is going on in Niger, and so on and so forth. Uh, the issue of United Nations, uh,
Okay.
there have been like it's a yearly tradition. It has been since I think 2 years before I was born. Yeah. So it's been going on, and probably it's going to go on and on and on and on for a long time. And I think there have been efforts made to separate or to cut it into two, but it has never worked. But we don't want to go into there because that is a little bit. It's going to take large number of our time. So now, what's the essence of these? What's the essence of these yearly tradition? What exactly is all about? What should our people know? What people know about this tradition of United Nations?
The United Nations has several activities year round. Yes. It depends on individual countries what they want to spotlight. So I think this year, because we have a new government, new administration at the helms of affairs, they wanted to spotlight one of the activity they are attending at the United Nations. Fortunately, which is this hunger of this year. That's United Nations General Assembly. The General Assembly is usually a yearly thing. Sometimes some president, like this year, Canadian Prime Minister is not attending. No, Moli or whatever, the Indian Prime Minister is not attending.
Modi.
Modi is not. Putin is not. China President Xi Jinping is not. So to them, this year activity is not really a big thing. But because this is a new administration that wants to push itself, want to say that we are this, we are that, we have landed on the world stage, they just wanted to use that for the optics of particularly Nigerian consumption. You get it that the administration is here, is there, is on the global stage. So don't let us deceive ourselves. UNGA happens every year. The next one, President Tinubu might not attend. If you have other things that preoccupies his mind or his attention at home, you get it. So this is just a launching pad that because the administration is new. So they're using it is just for the optics of it. So, well, I think he gave a good and a very resounding speech there. And he tried to get the pictures and the videos correctly. Talking to who and who that are really valuable there. He had a contact and a good attention of Biden. He had an attention of the Secretary General, though I can recollect that he did not call his name properly. His name is Anthony Guterres. Lord is Anthony Guterres or whatever. His name is Anthony Guterres
Let
and
that
all that. So, but he did launch a very good speech. I saw other president that did very well too, like the South African president who was really
Ramaphosa.
on point, talking from his heart, not necessarily paying attention to a speech that was written in paper or whatever. So, and equally the Turkish Erdogan,
Edward, yeah.
yeah, the president, he too made his speech particularly from the heart.
Mm.
He talked about global issues, matters that concerns humanity, and all that. Though our president did not foray so much in that, he brought attention of Nigeria mostly to the issues as well as African matters. But if that is our concern, why not? It's the best.
Okay. Um, The what's the significance of where what's that thing place called again? The center, the heart of economy of America, where you press the, you see, ring the bell, the
Oh, okay.
stock
At
exchange,
NASDAQ.
NASDAQ. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
its significance? What is exactly
It's
what's the
the
basic?
same. It's the same optics. It's just the vibe, the celebration of we are here. It's just to erode and let. It's just something like saying promotional gimmick. You get it? Just like a PR thing. It's a PR. Is yeah. That is actually that's the word. It's a PR public relation management issue. Just to say that you know what your president is here in the second most recognized stock market in the world. You know, after the New York Stock Exchange. However, there was a bit of a setback because I think those his media handlers had a very unpalatable reporting of the event. You know, they could have stopped short on on the issue that the president was at Nasdaq and he did ring the bell, the opening bell for Nasdaq, and it was well received, and there was a tumultuous rout of clap for him, which shows that Nigeria president is on the world stage. That should have sufficed. However, they went into talking that no Nigerian or African leader has done that, blah blah blah, which is wrong. That now becomes more like a propaganda, and I mean, pouring out absolute falsehood.
Yes,
That's very unbecoming. And yeah,
Ramaphosa.
and that was very likened to the same way they handled the UAE matter. You don't need to exaggerate things.
Hmm.
Just let things be the way they are. You know, it clothes it will rather clothe the administration more on truthfulness, sincerity, and transparency. People who understood that you have a mission, even if you have not achieved it, that you are doing something about it. But when you begin to try to manipulate facts, then you're sending a wrong signal that you only want to pay lip service to matters. You want to spin matters to what they are not, which is very unbecoming. I think there should be a need to have a real rethink around management of the information around the president.
Yeah, before I go to what I consider to be a hottest
At
top.
least, pardon me,
Yeah.
Jonathan actually rang the bell at New York Stock Exchange,
Yes.
which is even more superior to NASDAQ. So how can anyone, and that's coming home, not even looking at other presidents in Africa. Even the
South Africa.
Otedola's daughter rang the bell in NASDAQ.
So,
Yeah, so,
what do we get extra mark for all this? No. Now let's
so.
move on. Let's move on. I'm not going to go to other area uh, until when I want to hear your opinion, kind of update on these religion activists. Daniel Long. What are
Okay.
you hearing? What is going on? What is the latest you heard about Daniel Long?
And alone.
The Now the area I wanted to treat is we have a situation that it looks like one case, one uh, legal matter is appearing. Can it be simultaneous or just uh, differently at two different courts? You as a legal expert, I mean legal person, break it down. What do you want to tell our viewers?
Well, I think when I try to find out about the case preferred against him, you know, uh, my opinion was his legal team, his legal representatives, his counsel had approached the matter in a very, to the best of their knowledge. I think they're doing what they know, but to me, I think the approach was a bit two step backward. Even at the time he was arrested, uh, I don't know, I don't have that fact, whether they actually request for his administrative bail at the police station, even before he was transferred, his case was transferred to the court. Because you can actually get his bail from police station. Yes, you can. If they request for an administrative bill there, they should be able to have secured his release while the case moves further to court, and then you have to appear at court. Whether they did that are unsuccessful or they never did, I don't know. But at the time they approached the court, I think what they filed was just to question the jurisdiction of the court in hearing the matter. And I can understand that because there was speculation, which I cannot confirm, on the method or mode of his arrest. But I have to let people know this, and I believe lawyers too should be aware of it. There are some who have come up to, how was he arrested? He was kidnapped, he was this, he was that. Some people have even gone, somebody interviewed me, I was insisting that they shouldn't have arrested him that way. They must first they must first send him a letter to request for him to come, this and that. Blah. And I said, no, police can arrest you on the road. They can arrest you at your home. They can come to your home and arrest you with their numbers. Arrest can be effected in any way by Nigerian police. They are Nigerian police. They are not Ilorin police. They can arrest you anywhere. They can call on the police. I know that they too have some kind of administrative jurisdiction. They can call the police in Ogun State to arrest somebody who they want to bring to Ilorin. That those ones who arrest him and hand him over to those from the Ilorin. So whether you see them in numbers and you don't know which one of them, they could have been their conjunction of two different teams from your state. They got hold of him, hand him over to those from Ilorin, and they took him away. You never can tell. You get it? But people say, I just said, you know what, we should have let go of that. What matters is he's in their custody. That's where you move forward from. You get it? So they spend time first questioning the jurisdiction where he's already there. You're questioning the jurisdiction of the court, whether they can take. He's already in Ilorin. So right. I think they dissipated unnecessary energy and resources tackling that, which kept the guy in the gulag for some time. That was done away with because the court eventually ruled that, yes, we do have a jurisdiction to attend to this matter. Two, because this matter too was preferred in two different courts, I will have said that maybe they could have requested to consolidate the case in one court.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just one person attending to several suits. So they could have consolidated the case into one. In which case, you will attend to it in just one court. But that was not done either. So, but that shows the brilliancy and the dexterity of those who are involved in this case, who wants to prosecute him. You get it? They are using all those tactics to make sure that they are having their way. So the defense cannot be shouting yay or cry for somebody doing a very good job against you. I don't subscribe to that. If the lawyer on this other side are doing an exceptionally brilliant job to satisfy their client, and you are messing your own defense up, and you are now pointing at what else do you want? Why do you think they arrested him? They arrested him to come and feed him shawarma? No, they arrested him because they want to punish him. So I don't know what you think they should now be helping you. It can't add up. So it's you that needs to think out of the box and see how you save your client quickly. But bringing people to and again, the public are misled, even by this concept, its legal team. They were withholding facts from those who, I don't know the relationship, whether those who call when they come out of the court that were interviewing them are the paymasters. Maybe those are the ones that engage them for Talolong. Because if they are, then those lawyers are answerable to them as well. But if it is Tani alone that gave them instructions and engaged them, they are primarily responsible to debrief the matters to Talolong. So whatever progress they have on this case. So, but since they've been attending to this meeting, to this interview, that those followers do, those followers were granting them. In it, I found few things that were actually missing, and they seems not to want to tell the public about it. One, a whole lot of people felt that Talolorun was in court because certain people in Ilorin are the ones that are interested in punishing him and all that. And I bring to the clarity of the public that the cases Talolorun is facing in court are two. The cases in one part is four charges against him. That's one case. In that 4-count charge against him, which he was denied bail, it is the state, it is the government that has taken Talolorun to court for a criminal defamation of people's character and a call to public breach of public peace. You get it? Because they consider certain things he said to be very insinuative to cause trouble in the community. Yeah. So those cases were being pursued by the state against him. That what he has said is capable of causing disturbance in the city. So it is the government that is the party to whom he has libeled were there as prosecuting witness. Those lawyers of the Atagiri, Ataokuta, or whatever they call them. Yes, and something Atagiri, Abonigi, yeah. So Abokutani or whatever. Tagiri Okuta or thing. So that, and I think the emir inclusive or something. One shehu or whatever. So those ones, those counselors representing them are prosecuting witness. They are the one that will witness the government matter. Yes, it is our clients that are involved, and they are the one, and these are their position in the community. For that, it's disparaging them, and it can cause public breach of peace.
All right.
The breach of public peace. So that is one. Two is when it comes to his bail, because that too has generated a lot of trouble and talk in the community, even for those who do not understand how these things work. Because the lawyer, I saw them talking, they said, oh, bail is, you can even just without oral the position, you can get a bail. This case is bailable of, nobody has challenged that his case is not a bailable offense. And in their own statement, they claim too that it is discretionary. That means, yes, it's bailable, but it's discretionary. That is, somebody needs to give a final decision on it. That the right you have is to request for it. That's just the right you have. That nobody can deny you the right to ask. Yes, you have the right to ask, but somebody needs to rule on it.
That's it. All right.
So the court has not done anything wrong. The court have ruled based on the position you made. And we now realize that the deposition they made was very defective.
All right. So
there was no known address of this man. They introduced another matter in it where I think in their laziness, they copy and paste the request, and they introduced an error of words or clause there where they mentioned something around armed robbery.
Can you imagine?
Then there is a third one, that somebody who claimed to be a Tanolorun brother. He claimed that he had gone to the police station to see him on the 18th of August.
The same day.
Tanolorun was arrested on the 17th. He was in police custody on 17th. On the 18th, his matter was in court, but the police have transferred him away from that earlier police station to another one on the 18th. Whereas in their deposition, the police station where they claim his brother had gone to see him, he was not there at that day. How can you put that before the court? That's, to me, it's even, that's somebody who is lying under oath.
Okay.
The police to whom this man is in their custody said, no, he was not there at the date that you mentioned and at the place that we kept him in this place. So how could you have said under oath that you saw him that day? And that is what his lawyers put. And you know what? Somebody actually raised it with them. And you know how they responded? They said,
Thank you. Thank you.
àbí ọkọ tẹ fẹ wípé alọdìnà ẹ ní bẹẹlì ẹ ṣe nǹkan ọ̀rọ̀ 18 and 17 làwa. They just wanted to wish that away, not wanting to tell the public that they messed it up.
Yes, that is very, very significant.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to add to your thoughts that the ordinary people in our country.
That's why I said they are misguiding the public.
Yes, they don't understand how things work.
Pardon me, sir. Let me quickly add here. And I think I've had that discussion with you too. The public might be ignorant of the law, which is not an excuse. Yes. But then, it's granted for everyone to be emotional, to be passionate, and to be sometimes self-seeking on some issues. Yes, good. But we must understand that when we talk about the courtroom, we usually say it's a court of law. Nobody says it's a court of play, court of theater, court of all manners. No, it's a court of law. You get it? People should be guided by that. That what we are talking here is not emotions. What we are talking here is not about how somebody is related to someone else. It's not a courtship place. It's not a place of rendering unnecessary jokes. No, it is not. It is a place where matters are discussed, looked in the mirror as what is stand before the law. That is it. But what baffles me and what troubles me most recently is that the impunity to which those who are cultured in law,
the lawyers themselves,
yes, are themselves now wearing the toga of destroying the court, particularly judicial officers.
Very, very unfortunate.
I wondered the meaning of, after you graduate from university, the law school, what it taught them, because that's exactly where you learn how to decorate yourself in the practice. Yes, I wondered how some of them, if they have any recollection, if a court, this is the court system, if a court has given a verdict, it is not within the power of any lawyer to start disrespecting or disregarding or manipulating or misquoting that verdict. No. If you are not satisfied with it, all you need to do is tell your client, and if you want to talk to the public as well, the court have ruled, we will look at it, it's not favorable to us, and we think this, because we have right for appeal, we will move it further. That's it. It's just good enough. But for you to start introducing, no, the judge has heard, has done this, has done, those are the things you need to go and campaign at your appeal. You leave that. You don't need to start telling the public how the judge did not do this, did not do that, and said we know them. Some of them we know them. We know that it's really the judge is. You started bringing disrepute to the person of the judge. And this has watered down to the public
All right.
because they believe those who are saying it are in the sanctuary of the uh, temple of justice, and they know better. So for that reason, it has taken a toll on the public not to believe our justice system. No, that is not correct.
I must quickly stop you there because I deliberately brought this. I want people to understand that situation like this, there are two
It's a
sides.
slippery slope
Yeah, there are two
that will
sides.
cause anarchy in the society. Yes, it's a
Yes,
slippery slope.
and,
And
and
senior lawyers too are taking the fray through.
yeah, I know. And again, I think part of what I need to do as a broadcaster is to continue to strive to make efforts to get the public know their rights and how to use their rights. Another typical example is what happened. I think is it yesterday or day before yesterday, when the NSAS
No,
gone
the-
beyond the arrangement of uh, candle,
no, they are
candle.
not answers. They are
Yeah.
these boys
Again,
burial
this might just a minute,
this
sir.
profession.
This might sound a little bit
No bad.
banal, but it is not. The truth of the matter is, we keep getting our people, ourselves, into honesty conflict.
Arms
Places,
way.
yeah,
Yes.
places and times when we could win the government easily.
And so,
Yeah,
yes.
every time, just a minute, sir. Every time we agree to protest or process whatever to ask for additional demands or where we think our representatives are not doing a good job, we're entitled to that. That is where you have pressure groups and all that kind of things, apart from the agencies and so on. Even the agencies, most of the agencies, the commissions, are government's other hands, other wings. It is your duty, my duty, to not only to stimulate them, but to tell them that they are failing in their job. That does not necessarily mean an intention to topple the government and so on and so forth. We should not
Yeah.
always have that. And we also need to start learning how to separate emotion from reality, how things work, and so on and so forth. Now, let me quickly ask those of you who are watching this program to please share it, help me share it. I've tried to share it, and I have no doubt in my mind that more people wanted to come and learn from what we are discussing tonight. Um, there are also a couple of one or other things. I'm still coming to one major part of this show, and that is all about Yoruba self determination
If you
movement.
send it to me, I can equally share it now. So,
Yes, I will send it to you. So
okay.
we're coming to that. But while I'm still at that, I want to touch one more area that I think is trending. And I have had one or two messages sent to me here saying, why do we always get it wrong? Since the last 60 years, we still can't show anything for our independence. And that might be part of the
Mhm.
discussion as time goes on. But
Okay.
I promise the person that I'm going to come to that. Now,
Okay.
another trending matter before I go to everything and anything about Yoruba, very,
Mhm.
very trending uh, is the issue of this young chap that died. I choose my
No
word.
bad.
Yeah, Mobad, that died. Because you and I know as a legal person, we can now start using words that is going to incriminate our contribution
Yeah, of
to.
course.
Yes, yeah. We are not going to say killed. Yes, some people will say he was killed, but for us,
He
everyone
died.
word in law, you can interpret it, you can misinterpret, you can, into five different areas. So I
Yes.
will choose. Do you agree with me with that? That
He
he
died.
died.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yes, and again, there's this ongoing different kind of uh, theory, conspiracy theory, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. Again, quickly, let us educate our people. When you have this kind of homicide, uh, it is better to let government agents like the police to do their job,
Yeah.
to give them the opportunity to go to the bottom of the matter,
Yeah.
what are the causes of his death. And then
Yes.
from there, police will have to, police then can take actions
Yes.
as how best to go about it. Now, we have agreed on that. Let me now go to major part of this discussion tonight. Issue of our presidency, not birth certificate, educational certificate. Uh, I'm not going to run away from the fact that I know the president. I'm sure president has been elected. Yes, the electoral arrangement has been three-quarter completed, but a little bit one quarter more to be concluded. So, having said that, Segun, this issue of Mr. President's certificate from uh, Chicago, State University of Chicago, what exactly is going on? What is what is the well? I remember I went to primary school till 1955 when I left. Then went to secondary school. It used to be primary six and then
Modern
secondary school, modern school of a couple of years. I must say, and I want anybody to use it against me. It may be because of my age, and maybe because the number of years I left Nigeria. I might not remember all my classmates, but I
Yes.
know I went to school. I can tell you, I can even remember some of the teachers that were. I can say that with relish. I can say, well, that was my primary school, that was my secondary school, and when and then I went to do my A level at the Holy Cathedral evening classes, and I was working with the bank. I can say all these things, and to come to think of it, the qualification of a president does not necessarily mean university of anywhere. It
Yes.
is nowhere in the constitution that says you must, but because of the culture that we always want to outshine everybody. I went to
Mm-hmm.
University of Harvard. I was Oxford University, even though we
Mm-hmm.
bring nothing to the table with all these
Yes.
big grammar and big English and big qualifications. If this has not been, is it not right to say our president could have stayed by saying, well, I went to secondary school and that will have been it. So all
Yeah.
this ulaba, is it ulabalu or whatever it is, we don't.
We
Why
don't need it.
why will we have to go through? Why are we going through this kind of? eh, Can I also say shenanigan? Whatever
It
it is.
is.
Yeah,
It
because
is.
this is the president should be very busy in getting grip of what
He's
he.
even giving his enemies or his antagonists good red meat for them to still carry on with this matter. Because challenging it itself has become the rule over the matter. Yes. So he's putting some fuel in the I mean he's putting some oil in their scheme. Anyway, let me respond this way. Let me quickly draw back a bit. Regarding the Mobad matter, I wanted to have a suggestion for the public, for the teeming Nigerian population. You know, we must have a way to handle matters. Yes, we can be paralyzed, depressed by things happening around us and all that. But we should be sincere and be clear and know how things are governed. Things are better done when they are orderly than just one we want to be spurious about them. This matter has been taken over by the police. We should have trust for their investigation and let it come to conclusion and see what is preferred. If it is found that there are some people who have a hand in his death, then the police will take it further because that is an homicide which must be prosecuted by the state. Then the police will take it further by arranging them in court, preferring charges against them. If, however, it was found differently, we should also be in a receptive mind to know that, yeah, things could happen. This, whatever we consider as the theory around his death, might have been circumstantial. Yes, there are a lot of people who might not like him, who are probably putting pressure on him or whatever. That could culminate in him, not necessarily them, in him taking certain actions that could have been contributory to his death. So We should have an open mind about this investigation. Let the police conclude their investigation and tell us the next direction. If there are people that are culpable, then they can bring to justice. If there is nothing in it, they should be able to reassure the public that the circumstances have come this way and we have found nothing for other people to be prosecuted regarding it. Yes. More and by extension, maybe there should be a level of intervention in sanitizing the industry. If the industry is such a, I mean, it's put up in such a way that it brings on towards mental health issues and pressure, then there should be a way to address it so that matters coming up from such industry, which now Nigeria have regarded as a beautiful bride that the government want to be. In fact, the government have set up a ministry to overlook into how Nigeria can benefit.
I think I have a caller here. Hold on. Yeah, go on. Go on. The caller,
Yeah.
whoever is
Okay.
trying to call me to
Yeah.
call the
That,
number, the studio number, which is 07368 465 please. Go on.
so I mean, since the government is cutting that industry now, that's why I said by extension, we should find a way to sanitize it so that matters like this will not repeat itself. You know. So then coming to, okay, I think
Hello?
he's returning the call.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
I'm on a live program. Do you want to contribute or what?
Yeah, that is why I'm calling.
Okay. Call the studio number, please.
Why not let him finish from there? So
Okay, but
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, okay. Go on, go on. Let's take an example. Okay, go on.
give me the studio number, please.
Okay, 07
okay.
07
368
368
465. No,
665
465
465.
054.
Okay, I will call that now.
Thank you, sir.
So coming to the president certificate Burara, I think I've said at some different fora, what if there is anything, and this is being speculative. I'm not saying there is anything for President Tinubu to hide, but if there is any, he should have taken a very simple way to this. Even at his age right now, President Tinubu could take a GCA form, register for GCA.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I just want to. Can I talk?
Yeah, you can talk. Even though I will.
Make your contribution.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and go and talk, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. First of all, yeah, sorry, sir. My name is Peter Atekokai.
Okay.
I'm calling from UK. I'm quite interested in your program. That is why I'm calling.
Okay.
As there are two points I want to make. As for the certificate we just mentioned, I think the problem here is not necessary. It's academic qualification. It's what he declared that he had that is in question. It's not whether a university degree is necessary to be the president. No, I don't think that's the point. The point is that he declared that he attended a certain university. For example, like what you rightly said, that when I attended primary school, I finished my primary school in 1960. I could not possibly remember the name of the teachers as well, and some people that went to school with me. I think that is not the issue. The issue is number one, is our president. And everything he does is in the public domain. And people want to know, people want to scrutinize. And since he has declared that he attended such and such a university, what baffled me myself, why is it confidential that they cannot release his academic qualification? I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for that.
Okay.
The other point is this. You mentioned about this guy that is dead.
Mobad.
Mobad, all right? I've been reading about it. What we have here is a situation. Yeah, Mobad. What we have here, not necessarily, is a situation whereby the people that are committing these so-called atrocities are not brought to book. For example, the doctors in Nigeria, the hospitals are law to themselves. Their behavior is just out of this world.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. For example, I give you, before you, I like to continue, sir. My own brother was in oxygen. We provided the money, he was in oxygen. They removed him from that hospital. They say he should be taken to another hospital. By the time that somebody that you told me that it require oxygen, you remove him, say they don't have oxygen there anymore, and you remove him and send it to another hospital. By the time he got there, the following day was dead anyway, and the doctor was not responsible. So
okay.
we have a situation where they say they are doing the body, they're going to carry an autopsy. Okay? I can't say we can't prejudge what's going to happen. Let us wait and see what happens at the end.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I have your number now. We join your program from now to now.
Thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel. I mean, to the channel or page.
Yes, I will.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Segun Daniel, you had the caller. Concerned about the way things have been, done about the death of the young man, and also about the problem, the issue relating to the certificate of our president.
Okay.
So I'm
still on that anyway. Because of our time, I think what he has said is instructive. And I like the example he gave of his own brother or whatever. That to me is an aspect of medical negligence. That to me is an aspect of medical negligence. So you see, that's a new line now. In all of this, that's why I said people should be patient to let the police do their investigation. No one knows. Maybe such situation applies to this young man too. Maybe while he was beaten, or he had an accident, or he was sick and all that, he was sick. Maybe there was a case of medical negligence that resulted in his death. So we can't tell. And that's why I said all nerves should be cooled for now. Let's cool the frail nerves and let the police do their investigation. They have even involved, I think I learned they want to involve Corona. So that, autopsy has been done. So if they set up a Corona, then we will know. They will be able to rule on it, the cause of his death, and all matters relating to it. So that, to me, we should just keep calm and have faith in that investigation. That. Then I quickly remember again that after there was a procession that was launched yesterday for him and all that, which some people took beyond what was expected. When you take a handshake beyond the elbow, then you're asking for wrestling. If those who have invited people for the procession say, this matter will be concluded by 8 p.m. And at the conclusion of it, most of the artists that came to support them did announce that everyone should disperse and go to their home. That the arrangement we had with police is this matter will be concluded early by 8 o'clock. Everybody should disperse to their home. For others to now take that into levity and went to gather elsewhere and said, now we are protesting. That to me was uncalled for, was unjustified. And the police did mention that They announced to them enough time and repeatedly they should disperse. And when they refuse to, they uses their method of dispersing crowd. You get it?
Mm.
Many people might not like their tactics, but they are trained. That is what their job is about. They are trained, they know what method of tactics they need to deploy to achieve what they wanted. It might not be suitable to some people, but I think people should learn how to obey instructions. It might not look palatable to you. And two, you can only know of yourself. You don't know what other people planned at such gathering. If the police have information or any idea or an inkling that such thing could transform into an untoward situation, you might not be aware, but they need to nip it in the bud. And that's why people should be law abiding. When they ask them to disperse, there's no room for protest any longer. There was no request that after the procession there will be a protest, which the police need to have prepared for. They were there to give cover and protection for the procession, and it went well. So why suddenly does it need to transform into a protest, which was not guaranteed earlier? So to me, I think people are just taking things for too much. And it is all this idea of, and I heard some of them thinking that they are, is within their right to do such. That's the baffling situation. That it's within their right to just do it. You know, and when you tell them, they say, "Oh, we have a right." I don't get it.
Right. Thank you.
Then we can now go to their president's
Yeah,
paperwork and all
please.
that.
That would be because of time. Can you
Yes,
do that in 2 minutes, please?
yes,
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
yeah. Where I stopped earlier was I have advocated that President Tinubu should, for this year, go and obtain the GCA form and let us rest from all this trouble of document of his certificate and all that. He should buy one GCA form, register for the exam, maybe attend those exams. You get it. If he likes, he could just write his name and all that to fulfill the attendance that he did sat for the exam, and wrote there, my name is President Bola Tinubu. I'm attending this exam. This is all I need to write. And he could fail all of them, because what the Constitution requests is for him to just attend. That is enough. He should attempt. It did not say he must have C grade or A grade or B grade or pass or whatever. No, he should just attempt. That suffice as a qualification for him and put all this matter to rest. And he doesn't need to be flashing this Canada, Monrovia State University, University of State or whatever again. Yes, and he put it all to rest. Yes, that's just good enough. If all this brara about it, because ordinarily, to be honest with you, this escapade or this tour of finding facts that Atiku Abubakar have backed on going to Chicago is of no use to him anyway. To be truthful, it's of no use to him. They cannot bring it as evidence in the court. The truth is, they just wanted to use it to malign his person. That's just it. So in the next dispensation, if you just discover that, you know what, I don't want this matter to come up again, put the GC attempt there. That's what you sat for. Yeah, you sat, you failed. INEC doesn't even need to tell anybody the content of your result. Yes, whether you failed it or not is immaterial. So you do that and you file it if you're still interested in contesting in another round of election. Yeah, and that put paid to all these things. So this is indeed a shenanigan. However, a lot of people have said there are a lot of, because there are too many conspiracy theory. And I said that what has fueled this conspiracy theory is because, and there are many of them, and I don't want to mention any. So that have fueled it is because the resistance by the presidency or by the president himself or his group or his council his lawyer representing him, to be fighting this thing. There are many hurdles, even if Atiku Abubakar obtained anything from that university. Let me be honest with you. If Atiku Abubakar obtained anything from that university,
That
yes,
is
that from that university,
that's
Egbomisa,
yeah.
yes, if he obtained anything from that university that will malign or that will put in disrepute the person of Tinubu, which consequently will put in disrepute the position of the president of Nigeria. You get it? If you get anything from that university, yeah, one, that sitting in Chicago does not transform to admissibility in Nigerian court.
That could
No,
lead to this
there's no,
disqualification.
there's no automatic. It's a court in a foreign land. It does not enjoy jurisdiction in Nigeria. You can't bring that judgment and say this is a judgment served by Nigerian court. Do you get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not admissible easily like that. No, there is a procedure for it, and it's not a criminal case. So to use it is a very difficult thing. You can use it in the press. You can malign his person, say all manners of things about it, and then see what he has done. See this lie that he's made. This, you can do all that, but it's not before the law. It's not there. It doesn't exist. There are procedures to get it recognized, registered, and be entered into Nigerian legal system.
So what
And
about
it must go through the United States diplomatic mission. Yes, there are different rules to that. It could take time. It could take a year. It could take more.
all right? What about people still saying that?
Pardon me, sir. Two, if in this dispensation that they are going to Supreme Court is a court of record. It's not a court of evidence. Though there is a caveat there, only if there is a compelling reason for them to look at a new fact, they can. It is their decision if they want to. But that decision has a very high standard before.
Very, very compelling.
Yes, before Supreme Court will bend to want to admit such new evidence. You know why? Because they call into question the whole system of the judicial structure. What you are coming to Supreme Court for, first and foremost, is to say that the matter that was adjudicated in the lower court, the judge or judges sitting at that lower court had erred.
In law.
And they have, yes, I've erred in law and I've erred in looking quite closely at the matters you submitted before them. Now, that document you are bringing to Supreme Court was not submitted to that court. How will you say that that court erred over what it did not see? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
This document, you have just obtained it. You are now taking it to Supreme Court. You did not give it to that court. So how will you say before Supreme Court that that judgment that you are not satisfied with, which you did not give that evidence to, that those who judged on that matter made a mistake? That is a classical stupidity to argue in court.
I think you are making sense. You are making sense because, sorry.
Because how can you punish them for something that they did not see? You are saying Supreme Court should now see it and say that, oh, you judges, because that is the first meaning of appealing. That this court have made an error in judgment. That error in judgment, the document that you need to prove it, you did not give it to them. So people should get things straight. That's why I said this is just a charade. They're just playing comic. Yeah, they're just playing comic. It's a theater of for the Nollywood.
So some of these sons can be seen as
it's their payday.
jokers and
it's their payday.
clowns. Now, all right, thank you very much, Segun. Let me quickly
Mhm.
move on to the second major part of this show. And I've chosen in all my appearances that I will not go away without talking extensively about the one thing that is so much to my heart, the issue of belonging to the campaigners. I repeat, I don't agitate because I've said it 300 times. Uh,
Yes,
don't,
sir.
don't join me to people agitating. I don't agitate. I take it to be very stupid, very naive. It's, looking for DSS to put your name on their watch list. I'm not an agitator. I'm not an agitator.
Of course,
I am a campaigner for what I believe in and campaign. I
that's
will,
the appropriate nomenclature.
yes, I will continue to campaign for independence of Yoruba nation out of Yoruba country, I mean of Nigerian country as we speak. So having said that, the way things are now, Yoruba people are saying they want to leave Nigeria, and then we have in between have to deal with different kind of comedians, different kind of situations. Not long ago, there was this people saying somebody who declared Yoruba nation. There's a declaration, proclamation, education, fluoridation, all the
Motion, motion.
uh,
Random, Wawa.
yeah, the biggest joke as cap is the one that was told, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, that the leader of these jokers, well, the Mumu, I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, but that's the way I can classify the behavior of some people. That somebody say to you, he has registered, and he has made a declaration, and by so doing, the government of 290 something countries will just immediately recognize that we recognize the declaration and take away the present governing body of his sovereign state away, and then make the declaration become the authentic. And they even go further by saying the Adele, Adere, I don't know whether they are there, because when you look at these people, their behavior is
like,
their be-
like
is
clown.
not even. I think there's something more than clowns. It must be Saudi Arabian clowns because they have the Saudi Arabian have the best clowns in the world. They do their thing with finesse. They have so much money to decorate clowns. And so for somebody to say this declarator has been invited after United Nations have closed, and I've never seen the number one invitee when it comes to United Nations since 1945.
Mm.
The only invitee to this August, it should be September gathering now. In fact, they've used this August gathering can only be the head of state, and it is their prerogative to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to go. And so far, unless otherwise, there's a serious reason to send the deputy, but not
Yes.
somebody who is a clown outside the. It's, uh, it shocked me that somebody in his little sense saying that somebody has been called to come and address empty bathroom of one of the bathrooms in United Nations. Segun Johnson, Segun Daniel, tell me this awareness so far that you pick interest in Monday to Friday, is it this awareness of how to get Yoruba Nation? Is it the right way or is it the wrong way we are doing it? What should the media be saying? What kind of information should they be saying? Should they be talking about incident in Abule Egba, something Bomosho, all that kind of thing. What relevance is that going to do with wanting to move this campaign forward?
Basically, and I hate to use the word basically. Well, in this regard, is basic. The campaign had not moved forward. And it had not moved forward because there had not been any consensus among the leadership around the campaign for actualization of Yoruba nation to recognize the need to have a definite and successful, assured campaign strategy. And I must give you commendation for coming up with an idea, which I believe you mentioned to the leadership by saying there should be a plan B. There should be a plan B that with the way we are going, we should be able to measure our successes. We should be able to see our challenges. We should be able to um, address how we position ourselves in achieving the laudable objective and goal of having the actualization of Yoruba nation. But it appears it has fallen on deaf ears because, and I think interest is playing tricks there. There are a lot of people who genuinely see this as a lucrative business.
Mm.
There are those who have different opinion, different aspiration, different outlooks to this thing. And lastly, there are those who I feel are just being carried on by emotions of it, not necessarily knowing the roadmap to get to what they aspired for. And to such, and they are in numbers, I must agree that they are in numbers. They just believe that noise making, protest, trouble, and indeed possibly the encouragement and use of violence and force will get us anything. That had been the bane of this campaign. Those who felt, oh, if you don't make the government rest by protesting, by even attempting to get weaponry and all that, forceful overtake, or as use of firearms or force, that we will go to one radio station, seize it, or go to government house in one state or whatever, or all those. They just think some kind of pandemonium should happen, and in the midst of the fisticuff, the trouble, something will just give way that the government will say, you know what, Yoruba nation, go away. And I just laughed at it that why would anyone be entertaining this thing? The simple thing, let me now come to what you regarded. And I want to be corrected, Otumba, if I'm not sharing what you said.
Mm.
I need to be corrected. What you have simply initiated, which I am in total support of, is this Yoruba nation actualization is a political question. It's a political issue. What we are actually seeking in a nationhood is political administration. A nation cannot exist without political structure. The Yoruba nation we are asking for must have a political structure. So for us to exit from one, we must be able to negotiate on political ground. That is it. Even those who have engaged in violence eventually come to Georgia. It all turned back to the table to discuss and iron the matters out. And these matters were discussed by political representatives. Why do we want to be in the wilderness for 40 years to come and do what we should do in 40 days? Yes, why do we want to go about making troubles, causing pandemonium, letting Nigeria not rest? If you make Nigeria not rest, we too will not rest. We are still within Nigeria. Yes. So why do we need to go that court when we know this is where it will stay end? we will still need to negotiate and talk with Nigeria on how to exit. Even if we have used our own guerrilla warfare to capture all power within or control within the southwest, within the western Nigeria, we still, at the end of the day, we still have to come to table to discuss that exit with Nigeria. If not, don't let us deceive ourselves. No nation will recognize it. That exit must be mutually discussed. So if we know that, why not put our energy and our strength in having that done? We could save ourselves a lot of time and resources. Yes, and in it, if we even carried our campaign quite well, other regions could see the benefit in being independent separately. Yes. Are we campaigning to let others feel that they will be weak, they will be poorer, they will be insecure if we exit? Then they will not let us go. But if we let them see that, you know what, is a win-win for everyone. Yes, they too could see the benefit. I don't know why we cannot exercise ourselves in doing that. That this is a political thing. And for that reason, and what still, and what still is, when we mentioned and table this matter, I don't enjoy the response that I have seen so far. The response I have seen so far is that of pessimist, defeatist. People who, when you mention, let us do this, they say, oh, it can't happen. If you mention, no, they will àwọn tó máa dẹ̀yìn pa tó máa kẹ̀yìn sí wa ní owó náà máa lọ gbà kíní kan, you can't trust politicians. They can't trust politicians, they can't trust themselves. If you ask them, okay, don't take that politician, why not we sponsor you and you do no, àwọn èèyàn máa tún ní mi èmi náà ṣe. That's the thing. They are so dismissive, don't simply defeatist and very pessimist. That's what I have seen. I said the only place where we can discuss this matter is the National Assembly. We can parley the presidency. We can lobby the presidency. But the truth is we can't get it done even from the presidency. The power, the laws in
you mean
this
we cannot
country,
use the power that the president is a Yoruba
man? No, we can parley it, we can use his office support. Yes, if we can bless it, yes. But the real power to let it happen is in the National Assembly. Because this is a constitutional matter. Nigerian Constitution recognizes 774 local governments. If the Western country and the Western states are going, they are going away with their numbers of local government, which will no longer reflect in that constitution. Yes. It is not by fear that the presidency can do that. No, it's the legislative house. And I said, all these, they are so-called, we want to protest, we want to pariwo, we want. The noise that 10,000 of us will do in the street of Lagos, Ibadan, Ondo, Ado-Ekiti, Ilorin, wherever the Western Nigeria is capped, cannot amount to the effect just 6 senators, 4 House of Assembly members would make if they made speeches regarding the exit of Yoruba nation from Nigeria.
The whole world will know about it.
A very resounding effect than we gathering 10,000 people just roaming and screaming the streets. Yes, if those lawmakers, yes, and that's where the power is. And I said, if we can negotiate JoJo with our representative, that they must see the benefit, the justice, the goodness in doing this cause. then we should let them know that they stand a chance to be replaced.
And that's where the plan B should come in.
Yes,
That we
yes,
should. But
yes.
what do you
They
think
stand
is the
a chance
reason
to be
why?
replaced. Yes, that's the thing. By those who will make campaign for this. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We don't need to keep any animosity against them. No. If it's the voice of the people, they will vote them out. All we need to do is raise our own team. But when you say, people will say it cannot happen.
But why are some people not agreeing to that? Why did they look
That's
at
what I
me?
don't get. I said
Why
we
do
are
some people
simply
look at me in the eye and say, "Ah, Baba Otumba,
happy.
eh,
If you nominate yourself, it's trouble. They will tear you down. They say, oh no, join one kiniko. If you said okay, it one be kò ní gbọ́. If you say okay, ìwọ fúnra rẹ̀ wá lọ, èmi ò lè ṣe politics. How then do you get these people to move their pot?
whew,
How do you demand for what you already very defeatist about? Timba lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀, kí o sọ, if you purport in your mind, Timba lọ sọ́dọ̀ lágbádá kò ní fún mi lóúnjẹ. And you now went there, o dẹ̀ káwọ́ gbéra, o tẹ̀ bí o kúrò ńbẹ̀, o ní kò ní fún mi náà. Of what use is it that ebi ń pa ẹ́ tó wá lọ́bẹ̀ fún?
all right.
Because you've purported in your mind, ẹni yóò ní fún mi, and you didn't ask.
Alagba Segun Daniel, I want to thank you because I'm mindful of time, and also, yeah.
So I believe we should have a rethink around it. I hope.
I hope so, because I will not stop. Like I said, I want to spend the rest of my life in peace. I want to continue to propagate, to campaign. I'm not an agitator.
Yeah. But I need to add here too.
Yes.
That
campaigning.
This is a journey that is a long shot.
Yes.
We should recognize that.
Like
and in doing that, we are in an existing nation. We should not run a campaign to say we will malign that nation. As of today, yes, as of today, even those of us who are campaigning, we are Nigerian.
And 99% of us carry Nigerian passports.
As much as we can say whether we are British now or we are whatever and all that, we are still Nigerian. Those who have not had secondary citizenship, if you ask them, some will even tell you, I'm a Yoruba King. If he needs to fill any document abroad, you will fill it under the nationhood of Nigeria.
That's it. There's no other. Now,
yes.
Finally.
So why are we deceiving ourselves?
Finally, the one area that I
don't want us to deceive ourselves.
Yes, thank you very much, Segun. The one area and the final one, I'm also one of the people campaigning for that Oloye Chief Sunday Igboho should be left to continue to enjoy freedom and not to be harassed in any form or shape. But then as we speak, it's still like, I want to use the word stuck. He's stuck in Cotonou. He's still in exile. And many people like myself and others wanting to go back home. Now, tell our viewers towards the end of this show, and that is, please, I will leave 10 more minutes to play with. Those of you who want to call in, you call in. If you cannot call in, it doesn't matter. Just share this show. Send comments. If you cannot, there'll be another time. I will keep coming again and again with different people. Now, Segun, what should Oloye Igboho do to go back to Nigeria?
Oh, good. I think I've at one point or the other made mention of this matter. And I wanted to speak to the best of the information within my reach. I don't know the full detail of his situation, but I have certain information regarding it. I was aware Oloye Igboho escaped from Nigeria because there was an attempt by DSS to arrest him, which fortunately for him, he was able to maneuver around and escape. So after doing that, Nigerian nation did issue.
I think I have a caller.
Okay. Can I go on?
All right, sorry about that. The caller want to have a link. Okay, go on, Mr. Segun.
Okay. So there was a request to have him arrested. Fortunately, he was still within West Africa, and they got hold of him in Benin Republic. Shortly afterward, Nigeria put in a repatriation uh, plea, to have him extradited back to Nigeria. That went to court in Benin Republic, and she followed Igboho fight strenuously to make sure that he was not returned back to Nigeria. And that to me led credence to me asking that here is someone when Nigeria wanted him back, and he strenuously exerts himself that he does not want to go back to Nigeria. I admit that there is a wind of change. That government, that administration had gone now. Maybe that will inform his reason to want to go back to Nigeria. I recognize that. But even for those who are asking, just like you, sir, that how can he go back? I am not certain whether it is Oloigbo himself that wanted to go. I mean, based on the premise that I said earlier, that here is somebody who exerts himself strenuously, not wanting to go back when there was an extradition request for him to return to Nigeria. So whether he truly is the one in need or pressed, then I have to recognize another circumstance. I think along the line, they lost his mom. I mean, the mom died along the line, and maybe the burial had not been conducted, or it has. I'm not too sure. That is a compelling reason, though. So, but that I'm not sure whether there was a campaign. People are just mounting campaign to help him return, or genuinely is him that wanted to launch that campaign for himself to return. Now, be that as it may, now let's look at the legal conundrum around it. What can facilitate or mitigate against his return? So far, like I said, with the information at my disposal, Oloigbo instituted a case against government for the actions of DSS at his home, in which some lives or a life or some or few were lost at that venue, at that event. And also his house was balkanized and all that. He instituted a case in court and he won. And the court did adjudicate that his remedies for damages should be addressed and government should pay penalty. So unfortunately for him, that matter was appealed by the government, and the redress and the sum of amount awarded to him was quashed by the appellate court. So for that reason, that case had come to an end. Clearly, I'm not aware of any other case pending in Nigerian court, maybe civil cases by other people he has businesses with, but by government of the day, filed against Oloigbo in Nigeria. The only thing that I'm aware of was that attempt to arrest him, which he escaped from. In which case, I can say maybe there was a warrant of arrest against him, which unfortunately, because they did not get him, they could not have served it to him. So that warrant of arrest might still be in subsistence. That means they still want him. So there could be an arrest warrant against him, not a court case.
What does he need to do? What does he need to do to go back home because of time?
His lawyers could find out if that arrest is still subsisting. If it is, unless they too can come up that there is a court case by the government of Nigeria that is still live against him in Nigeria. But I said, to the best of my information, there is none. But there is that arrest which is likely. If they discover that that arrest is likely, there is, what's the way out of that? They could approach two prominent positions for an amicable resolution to this. The presidency, they could approach the presidency using contact that they know that could get to the president and appeal to the presidency how to remove, because that's an administrative thing. It has nothing so much in it. If the presidency is called the DG of DSS, say action on it, that appeal, that warrant no longer should exist. It's gone. So if they can muster that contact and have it gone, it is as good as return to Nigeria. Or they could get in contact with the office of the Attorney General and explain his situations. If you find it credible and you see no substance in that warrant still existing, he could too quash it. Those are the two positions that can resolve matters around that warrant. Those two can make it go away. So if he does want to return, I think he should take the liberty of his counselors doing that contact and see if they can remove that matter. You get it? But as regards any court case hindering him, I do not see any. The third mission to it is, yes, let's say he did not succeed in either his contact in the presidency or his contact with the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice. He can institute a case against that warrant. He could get an injunction in Nigerian court restraining not only DSS.
It's still a faction.
Yes. Join any security operative of the government, security agencies of the government, that none of them should be able to arrest him.
Jointly and severally?
Yes. That can happen. It can happen in Nigeria. If he got such injunction, he will return.
Okay.
Yes. So those are the three-pronged situation now that matters can be resolved. If none of them now works, I would suggest, if he doesn't want to take the risk, which is the last one, that he could not secure the injunction, he could not get the justice minister to do that, neither could he get the presidency to do that. If he feels very strongly that he needs to come to Nigeria, he should bear it in mind that he will be arrested and he will face the prosecution. But that's if his counselors, if his lawyers have told him the weight of it and the likelihood of his success, that this matter cannot be established against you. You get it? If you feel very strongly that he needs to come to Nigeria, and on the assurance of his lawyer that the matters or cases that will be preferred against you will not hold the ground,
all right,
he can take that choice as well.
Thank you very much, Segun. I must say,
but the only thing that he will be exposed to is just an arrest.
Okay. Thank you very much, Segun. I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. As many of my fans and people that watch my program on my TV, that's posh, isn't it? So I enjoy. This is my life. This is what I do most. That is what I like most. I have slowed down, but I'm going to upgrade and reactivate my activities on talk show. I'll be coming your way again, maybe within the next 24 hours or whatever.
Yes.
I have people of interest, people that I believe are going to say the truth. I'm going to evangelize the truth. Nothing more but the truth. The truth will set us free. I don't want to reach my do certain things that say, no, I don't need crowd. I need quality people, very few people that will appreciate this is the truth. So because when I finish, I can go to bed I can sleep well and devoid of issue of this and that. Again, thank you very much for all the people that
Can I add something, sir?
the time, the time might not
Yes.
permit me. Let me quickly
Mhm.
read. Let me quickly
Okay.
read so I
Quickly, it's just an advice for Nigerian government, but go on and read your. It's
uh,
on the economy. The
uh,
what I wanted to add is on the Nigerian economy.
economy.
It's just
Okay,
an
maybe
advice.
we are going to do another because of time. I have calculated that I want to do 1 hour 45 minutes. I've gone 5 minutes above. I might be
Okay.
charged for that, but that's just okay.
Okay.
Kilo Shale, thank you very much. Eku Ishe Takun Takun. My very good friend from America, Janet Fash. Happy discussion. And just towards the end of the show, Peter Asekohai. What has he done wrong to be chased out of Nigeria? I think my guest has already treated that, but because of time, I have no. I can promise you next time, because I always talk about Yoruba Nation thing. But this is going to be the end. I have to end the show now. Thank you very much, Segun Daniel, and bye bye, viewers. God bless.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you very much. And our loving viewers, thank you for listening and
Thank
enjoy the rest of your day.
you. Okay.
Bye bye.